About 6 months ago, I showed you guys this. At that time, I said I'll be back with a full story. But a lot has happened since then. Hopefully, I have a bit of a time this weekend, so I might be able to tell you guys the rest of the story. So about 2 years back, I did buy this one. This is the SuperCharger 1 by Sequent World. So this one I bought with my own money, and somehow Sequent World has found me and sent me the second generation of SuperCharger. So this is the SuperCharger version 2. Now, immediately what you notice is that they have reduced the number of dial. So there used to be two of them. One for the power reserve, another for the step counter, but now you have just one. And if you want to know what is your power reserve, then you have to do double click this one, and it shows you how much power you have. Otherwise, it will show you how much of the percentage of your activity goal you have achieved. So you can set it maybe if you're a heavy exerciser, or maybe you want to set it for 2 hours per day or something like that. For me, I have set it to 13 minutes per day. Now if you place them side by side, one thing you immediately notice is that this one looks much better. It's slimmer, it's shinier, the design language is much better, so you immediately love it. And the first generation has a bit of a dome shape to it, so I was always afraid that I'm gonna bump it into walls or doorknobs or something, but eventually I did bump it some few times, but there was no visible scratch. There is no visible scratch. Speaking of pressing buttons, regarding tactile feedback, this one is not so great. Generation 1 was better, but not great. But one major improvement that they had is that when you use this watch, it produces some kind of noise. The dynamo makes a audible noise. After a while you get used to it. I'm used to it, I don't notice it anymore. But the second generation, it hardly makes a sound. You still feel it, you still feel the dynamo moving inside, but no audible sound that to bother you. So that's one major improvement. And even if you look at it, the constructions and the back case, it looks gorgeous. I mean, just look at it. You can just show it to your friend and have a 1 hour long conversation on just that case back. Alright, specs. So it has a step counter, and that's about it. The previous one has a heart rate monitor, which I used frequently, but this one does not have, and which I really miss. Probably there are some other models of SuperCharger version 2 which has heart rate monitor, but this one does not have that. So as for if you are looking for the accuracy of the step counter, I cannot tell you. I did try to measure it, but I do not have the scientific means of measuring them. I tried to make a chart, and if you look at the chart, the one thing that the chart tells you that I need to go out and exercise more. That's it. If you want to track your workouts and keep the GPS recordings, you need the app. It has something like eGPS, so it takes the reading from your phone and then saves it while you're working out. Now the question is, why would you need to carry your phone if you just bought a watch to keep a track of your workouts? So that does not really make a sense. You either have your GPS on your watch or you don't have it. This one doesn't make sense to me, so I don't know if there's a need to it. So on to the main question, how much battery life does it still have? I charged this watch last time in December when I first got it, and now it's July 24th. And in order to know the power reserve, I need to... Somebody is shouting in the background. Doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, so if I need to know the power reserve, I double tap it, and it is telling me that I have around 55% of battery left. So battery life is not really an issue, but then again, it doesn't have any heart rate monitor, it doesn't have GPS sensors, so it really isn't using a lot of battery. On top of that, it has this power saving feature, is that if you're not using this watch, keep it aside, don't touch it, don't move it, and the minute hand and the out hand will stop moving for about 24 hours of inactivity. And whenever you're ready to use it, just pick it up, give it a shake, or don't give it a shake, whatever. You can put it in your hand and it tells you what the time it is. So that's one brilliant feature that I have been using it for a while. So, and if it does not consume a lot of battery, how about charging it up? It's supposed to charge up when you are using it, right? The thing is, I use this watch daily, and I am not much of a runner, if you don't know already. So I did try to go for a run. I think I pretended to jog for about 30 minutes or so. I came back and I did not really find any jump in the charge level, something that tells me that, okay, yeah, you have been running and the battery level was 50%, now it went to 70%. I did not see that kind of jump, and so it's not really fair for me to comment that does it really charge or not. If you go for a run for 2 hours every day, does it keep it at 100% always? I don't know. That's not the kind of person I am. I'm not that physically active. So this is still unknown. No more comments over that. In case you do need to charge up the watch, there is a charge included. You need to get used to it. It's not as fiddly as the version 1, but you need to get used to it. Alright, now for the app, my instinct was that the app I was using for the first one would be the same one required for the second one. Apparently not so. There are 2 versions of the app as well, and if you want it, depending on the version of the watch, you need to download the appropriate one. If I go through the interface, it shows me my activities, it shows me my step counts, it shows me how much calories I have spent, how much distance I have covered over the day. It also has a reading of carbon dioxide, and I'm not sure what that means. It just says carbon dioxide 55.7 kilogram. That's it. The battery says it's at 100%, but the watch tells me that the battery is at around 55%. So I'm not sure which one is correct and what that exactly means. There used to be a column which said sleep, and I tried wearing my watch during bedtime for 2 days. My wife was really angry about it, but it did not show me any data, and apparently I did not notice until today that sleep column has been removed from this current version of the app. Now on to the biggest complaint that I have is that this watch is really easy to read, and I am a sucker for pilot watches, but this one, although it looks nice, it's shiny, it's really difficult to read at night. So if you're in a hurry and in a dark spot and you need a quick glance of time, it will be quite difficult for you to figure it out. So I developed this method, is that if I know that I'll be spending my days, I'll be back home before the sunset, I use this one. But if I know for sure that I'll be coming home late, I take the version 1 with me. One minor inconvenience that I found is that you need to calibrate your watch often. There are times that both of these watches were telling me 2 different times, plus minus 1 minute, and I wasn't sure which one is the right time. So keep that in mind. It's not a major issue, but it's worth noting. I have one confession to make, is that the day I received this one, my plan was, this one looks so nice, I want to keep this one. So why not sell this one on eBay, the version 1, and get my money back. As you can see, 7 months after that decision, I still haven't sold it. There are 2 reasons. The first one is that whenever I work out or want to wear my watch for tracking my workout, I want my heart rate. And this is the only device I have currently with a heart rate sensor. That's number 1. The second issue, and the major issue, is that the visibility. Like I said, I'm a sucker for Pilot Watch, so I appreciate the clear, quick readability of the version 1. And although this one looks nice and I wear this to the parties, it's not great when I'm riding a bicycle or driving a car and I'm in a hurry. The reason I still wear an analog face watch is that I appreciate the quick readability of time, and in my personal case, I found it takes me a tad longer to read from a digital number readout, and for analog one, it's much better for me to get a quick sense of time. Over time, both of these timepieces have grown on me, not so much as a smartwatch but as a timepiece. I like them both, I use them both, so nothing to worry about. If you just order this watch, don't worry, give it 2 months of time, 3 months of time, use it, you will know what I'm talking about. If you're still kind of browsing YouTube randomly, I would just say, yeah, keep scrolling. As for me, I think those are the things I wanted to share. So, yeah, I think I'll just go out for a walk. See you then. I still hate the belt. It takes a very long time to put it on.